Okay. Hi everyone. Welcome to another session. So in this session, we are going to create another next API for our application, that is to save the information of your incident. Okay. So we will require one more API which will help you to store the information of your incident. So let's do one thing. Uh, Create one more controller. So let's copy account controller and just rename it as a incident controller. Incident controller. Okay, so inside the incident controller, basically we can add controller, all these things we will require. We will not require account service. Instead of that, we will need to create one more service, that is incident service. So I will create save, controller name is incident, so API will become endpoint will become incident slash save. Okay, so this is the save method. I will require uh, request and response for that. So go to the details and create one more class, that is incident API. Incident save API. Okay, in this you can do one thing: incident save API request, incident save API response. Okay, so in the request, basically we need to pass these many things. Like what all things we need to pass? We need to pass all these things, right? So I'm assuming from the UI you will get the information from the user and just pass it as a request body. So just copy all these fields which we require from the user. So user will basically fill these many fields. Okay, incident master request. So he will pass description, then status, symptoms, request ID. Request ID he will not pass actually. We need to fill that. Okay, he will pass status also by default create, right? So we don't need to pass. So description, symptoms, tenant ID, who has tenant ID means branch ID, then city ID, then priority is by default. Yeah, priority we need to select from the incident only. Okay, then urgency and created date will be also by default today's date. So these are the fields we need to get from the end user. Okay, and for response I do not have anything as of now. If I have, I will add it here. Okay, so go to the incident controller. Now just add incident request. Incident request. Incident save API request. Okay, so this can be your request only. Now we need to return it as a incident response. Wherever you will find request, you can mark it as a response. Okay, so your account service is this. I just need to create one more service. Instead of account, I will require incident service actually. So you can just add one more service, that is incident incidents. Okay, service. In this, just rename this, and create the function, that is save incident info or save incident. Okay, here you will get incident request object request. Then response you will have to return like incident save API response. Okay, then for repository also you will require one repository, that is incident repo. So here copy this, paste, and just add incident repo. Okay, copy, paste, this is the DB context object, and just create one function save incident. And here you will actually get the object of incident master. Okay, and that you can save into the database like this. How to save? db context dot incident master dot add and db context dot save changes. That's it. And you can return boolean value whether it got saved or not. How to return? If it got saved successfully, it will return 1, otherwise it will return 0. So if it is greater than 0, it means true, otherwise false. Okay, so this is how you can save the data into the database. Now let's call this function in the service. Save incident. I have the request object ready. I will pass here incident master. So incident master record I need to create. Incident master, okay, equal to new incident master, and I can pass all the things from request to incident master. So what are all things I need to pass? I need to pass, let's go one by one. Okay, city id is equal to request.cityid. Next, creation date is equal to datetime.now, today's date. Okay, when it got created, today. Description is equal to request.description. Then priority is equal to request.priority. Requester id equal to requester, no, currently logged in users information. So that information you should get from the user dot current user actually we need to get the information from the JWT token. Okay, so we need to write the mechanism to get the claims from the JWT token. So that is something we can just pass here, int user ID. Okay, and that user ID you can just pass it here. Next one is symptom, sorry, status is equal to request.status. So by default status will be, what will be the status by default? Mm, incident status dot new, right? Whenever you will create, it should be new by default. Symptoms are like this. Then tenant ID. So tenant ID we will pass from the UI. Then urgency we will pass from the UI. That's it. Okay, and this incident master you can pass it here. Then result. So if it got successfully saved in the database, then it will return true, and if it is not true, then you can return error message. Some error occurred at server side. Okay, otherwise you can just return success true, and response should be your incident save API response. So that object you have to return as a part of this API response. So it is returning. Okay, so it is saying account report does not have this. What do you think? Let's check. Okay, we don't want account repo actually. We want incident repo. Okay, Okay, rename this to inc repo and add here also and here also. Okay, and use that for calling this function save incident. That's it, we're done. We need to call this function from incident controller. So here we need to change it to incident service. We need to rename this to ins service. Okay, now here also we need to just inject that object remove underscore, assign it here and use that for calling save incidents function. While saving the incident you will have to pass user context something, user dot claims dot claims. I want to return that is user ID, right? User ID or toString and return it as a response. Claims dot where p dot key something. No, so basically what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to get currently logged in users ID. Okay, I'm passing 0 at this time, 0 or 1 by default. Okay, so let's see how to change that later. This is not controller name. That's it. Okay, let's run this program. Here I will tell you how to get the actual logged in users ID and then we will pass it here. Okay, so don't worry about it. Also, one more thing, before calling this API, I should be able to authorize. So you can use authorize attribute here. Without authorization, this API should not be called. Okay, now you can see if I call this function by passing description, this is test, symptoms is, this is another test, and tenant ID is 2, city ID is 1, priority is 0, urgency is 0. It will throw the 404, sorry 401, because you are not authorized person. I want to authorize myself, so I will do here, go here, pass my username and password, click on the execute button. It will give you the authentication token, this one. Okay, here it is returning error, that is user is null actually. Why it is null? Because of virtual keyword. Okay, so this user we are fetching from the database. While fetching that user, you can see we are trying to load the user login details. So user login details has the user record, but there we have the virtual keyword. Virtual means lazy loading. Lazy loading means if you require, then you will have to ask your SQL query that I want information about user entity. Okay, so for that we can use include function. So if you use include function, then it will fetch the data from the associate table as well and bind it with the this field which we have added as a foreign key. Okay, now this will not be null, and if it is not null, then it will get the email address from the user. So let's rerun it again. Okay, login, tryout, username is bpower, password is 123, execute. You can see JW token has been created, and we are basically storing the email into the JW token. Previously we were storing username, but now I want to store email, so you can see the email here. I also want to store user ID because that I will require for creator and all. So how to store user ID? So if you go here in the account service, in the claims, you can basically add user ID here. Claim type is can I create my own? I think so. We should be able to do that. We cannot add. So let me check. Seeing is type and value. Yeah, we can do that. Type is ID, comma. Oh, we need to do dot toString. That's why. Yes, we can do that. Okay, so I have added ID as well. Claim type name. Okay. So name has the email, and then we can retrieve some more. Okay. So let's check now. Okay. So if I go here, try out, then bpower and password is 123. Click on the execute button. You can see I got the token. If I use this token now, I will get some additional information this time. So in the payload, there should be user ID as well as user name, email address. This is email address, this is ID. So this ID I require in controller for incident controller for creator, right? So creator is my currently logged in user's ID. So let's do one thing. Try to get it. Where user ID is equal to HTTP context dot user dot find first, and I will pass it as a ID. It should give me the ID, that is basically the integer value. So I will just pass it as integer. That's it. Not like this. Integer int32 dot parse int, like this. So basically this time you will get the integer. Is it nullable? Dot value. Okay, so you will get 1 here. Why? Because this token is associated with the user 1. Let's try it now. This is how we can just get the value from the JWT token. Okay, now you can see if I create the token first, okay, bpower, and this is my password, and if you see I got the token. Now I need to call save API with this token, and then this method, this line will give me the ID of currently logged in user. That ID is present in the payload. So let me open the Postman. From the Postman we can call this save API. Okay, because here we do not have a way in the Swagger to pass the token for calling subsequent API. There is no way here. So that's why I will use this Postman. We can create one way, there is a way, but it will take additional effort, so that's why. Okay, so let's try it out and take the URL from here. So it should be post. Then I want to pass this payload actually. Okay, so payload in the body section raw, choose as a JSON, paste it here and use description is like booking is not working. Symptoms showing error message. Tenant is 1, city is 1, priority is 1, 0. Okay. And then I will pass the authorization token here. Where is that token? This is the token. Copy, paste, send. Okay. What is the error? Incident API service while attempting to activate. Okay. So we have created one service class and repository class for incident, but we haven't registered their dependency in the program.cs class. So in this, we need to register the dependencies like this for incident service as well as incident repo. That's it. Rerun the program. It should work this time. Go here, click on the send button. You can see it has applied this breakpoint. Go next, next. You can see it is returning 1. 1 is for currently logged in users information. Go here, initialize this object, go here, save that in the database. It will throw the exception. No, I think so. It should throw. Yeah, exception is related to the foreign key items, right? This foreign key is not available in the city table. So basically, whatever foreign key we are sending, city ID, tenant ID, in that tables we do not have any record with the ID 1. So we need to create them first. So city master, first of all, we need to create the country. Okay. So I will open country table here, India. Then I will open state. State is Maharashtra. Foreign key is 1. Then city. If you want to create the incident, you should have this master data available. City is Pune. State is 1. Now this error is resolved. Next one is tenant ID. Do we have tenant table? Yes, we have. In this, add the department name and that has the 1 ID. Next is tenant city priority. Okay, it should work now. Okay, so let's continue. It will return the exception. This is your exception. Now try again. It should work. You can see response is success true. Continue. Go to your database, check your incident master table. You will see the data. See, this has we have added into the database. Booking is now not working, showing error message. These are the foreign keys, created dates, status, and everything. Okay, so I think we are good here. We have completed the API for storing the incident master information into the database. There are a couple of more APIs we need to create, like if I go here in the requirement, we have completed API for this as well. Take any fields in the form, mention the below, description, this is done. Chat window not required. Now we need to create the API for adding comments. Okay, so that is something we can create in the next session. Thanks for attending this one.